Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is courtesy of DataCamp, who are kindly sponsoring this video. So in this video, we'll be doing an SQL project. If it's your first time hearing about DataCamp, DataCamp is a learning platform that has courses in data analytics, data science, machine learning, AI, and so much more. And it's an interactive platform. So in each of the courses, there are course videos which teach you a concept, and after learning that concept, you're given a few exercises to do just to make sure that you've mastered that concept. So that is one aspect of DataCamp. So it has career tracks and it has skill tracks. So within the career tracks, there are different careers. So there's data analyst, data engineer, data scientist, and all the rest that have been listed here. I'm interested in becoming a data analyst, but I don't know where to start from. I can easily come to the data analyst career track. So you'll just click on this button, and it has 5 career tracks in total. So these are the different tools that encompass being a data analyst. So there's SQL, there's Python, there's PowerBI, there's R, and there's Tableau. So you don't necessarily need to learn all of this, but you can pick at least SQL. You can pick like a visualization, whether it's PowerBI or Tableau that you want to learn, and then later on you can add either Python or R depending on what you want to use it to do. So I feel like SQL is like the backbone of any data professional. So I think it's a must-have skill. You just click on the associate data analyst in SQL. And once you do that, there's a list of courses that you can do. It starts from beginner, and the concepts move all the way to advanced level. So in this track, there are about 11 courses, and there are 2 projects that you're going to do by the end of this course, and you'll get a certificate. So the beautiful thing about the career tracks in DataCamp is that once you've done a course, there are some courses which are shared between tracks. So once you've done a course in one track, when you go to another track that also shares the same course, you don't have to redo it again, unless of course that's what you want to do to refresh your knowledge. So by this I mean I'm doing the associate data analyst in SQL in the data analyst track. So I've done introduction to SQL and intermediate SQL. So if I go back to the career tracks and select maybe something like data engineer, I've become a data analyst, I've mastered all those concepts. So now I want to become a data engineer. So when I click on data engineer and go again to learn SQL for data engineering, when I view the courses, you can see there are some of the courses that were still in the data analyst track. They are also in this data engineering track. But as you can see, the courses that I have completed in the data analyst track are also marked completed in the data engineering track. So if you're looking to upskill, it saves you a lot of time because you don't have to keep redoing the same course over and over again, unless that's just what you want to do to refresh your own knowledge. Yeah. So that's one thing that I really like. Another thing is that for the PowerBI courses, there's actually certification available. DataCamp has partnered with Microsoft to give you a 50% discount for the PL300 exam. So if I go back to the data analyst career track and select data analyst in PowerBI and view the details, it says that it was co-created with Microsoft to allow you to gain the Power BI skills you need to prepare, model, and visualize data for the PL300 data analyst certification. So on this right-hand side, this is where the partner certification is available, and you get a discount of 50% off the Microsoft exam. So if you'd like to learn more about how you can get this discount, just click on the Learn More button, and a new page will open with explanations and all that. So let's just scroll down. How can I earn the 50% discount? So once you complete the full data analyst in Power BI career track, you'll become eligible to receive a 50% discount code via email. The email will come from DataCamp and include information provided by Microsoft. So for context, the track consists of 17 courses with an estimated completion time of 48 hours. So according to DataCamp, you can finish the Power BI track within 2 days. That's 48 hours. And then how will you receive the discount? Microsoft sends the codes in batches, and then which DataCamp will distribute via email. Once you're eligible for the discount, it can take up to 3 days after completing the final course to receive your discount code. So within 3 days, if you've not received and you've completed, you can contact DataCamp. So how long before the discount expires? You'll have between 3 and 6 months to use the discount code. So once you're able to complete that track, maybe you don't feel so confident in your skills yet and would like to practice a bit more, at least you have more time to be able to practice, because the discount code is valid for up to 3 or 6 months. So another thing I love about DataCamp is that it has a mobile app. So with the mobile app, while you are on the go, while you're taking the bus or the train to work, you can always learn something, maybe for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you can get in your practice for the day. So that's also another thing. And then if you'd like to just do like the normal projects like we've been doing on our channel, they have competitions. So if I go back to the Learn tab, there's competitions where you're given a problem and a data set, and you're given like a certain amount of time to complete it. So at the moment, there are 4 active competitions. If you're interested, you can come here and do any of them. If none of these catch your eye, you can still go to the past competitions and look for some and do them. And the good thing about it is that it has, like, for the live competitions, they have prizes. So the prize could be knowledge, it could be swag, it could be a certification, it could be money, it could be gift cards. So I'd encourage you, when you have a free time, when you're taking a break from learning, you can always come and challenge yourself here with a project. So today's video, we're going to be doing a project here on the DataCamp platform, and it's under the real world project. So we'll just click on that. Once you've opened it, it also has listed all these languages and tools that you can do projects in. So I'll just select SQL. I'd recommend starting with the introduction to notebook projects. And in today's project, I'll actually be doing the analyzing motorcycle part sales. So as you can see from the projects, there's beginner, there's advanced, and there's also intermediate project. So this ready for the project is basically just depending on the courses you've done within DataCamp. So depending on the SQL content that I've done so far, DataCamp is letting me know that I'm ready to do this project with the knowledge that I've gained so far. So that's basically just what this means. So the more courses you do, the more you'll see in all the other projects as well. So for today, we're going to be doing this advanced project, which is about analyzing motorcycle part sales. So we'll just click on that, and once it opens, it comes to this page. So this is how the projects page looks like. Yeah, so on the left side we have the project instructions, then on the right side we have the information about our data set, about our project, yeah, and the cells where we're going to be running our query. So yeah, I'll just tell you a bit about this page, and then you can begin on the project. So the submissions tab is basically, once you've finished writing your query, you've run it and all that, and you're confident that is the answer you'd like to go with, you just click on submit project. Then here under submissions is where you're going to be given feedback on your solution. So if your solution is correct, then that's what will be shown here. If it's wrong, then you'll be told it's incorrect, and it will give you some sort of hint to help you figure out how to correct it. And then under resources, we have like there are video lessons that you can use to help you know how to get started with doing this project. So maybe you've read the question or the problem statement and you're not sure how to go about it. You can use either the resources or the guides to be able to figure out how to approach the project. So you can click on that. It shows you how to approach the project, analyzing net revenue. Then it gives you steps to complete. So once you've completed these steps, you should be able to successfully complete the project. Then maybe you've done your project, you've written your query, you've run it, and for some reason you're getting an error and you can't be able to figure out how to fix it. So for that, you just click on the solution and you compare your query with the query that DataCamp has written for you to be able to figure out where you went wrong and to be able to fix it and complete the project. So I'd recommend going to the solution only after you've tried to do it yourself. That's the only way you're going to learn, because if you come here and just show the solution, you paste it here, you click submit project and you're done, you've not really learned much. So anyway, on to today's project. So this is the question that we'll be answering today. It tells us to find out how much wholesale revenue each product line generated per month per warehouse in the data set. The query should be saved as revenue by product line using the SQL cell provided and contain the following: the product line, the month, displayed as June, July, and August, the warehouse, the net revenue, which is the sum of total minus the sum of payment fee, the results sorted by product line and month, followed by net revenue in descending order. Then this is just like a note telling you that you shouldn't change the name of this data frame. Like basically, this cell, you should just leave it as you found it. Don't change this name that's here, because that's what DataCamp will use to compare with their own solution to know whether you've got it right or not. So if you change this name, they won't be able to sort of give you feedback on your own solution. Yeah, so that's it. So in this project, I'm going to be showing you how I approach like SQL questions. So the best way to solve a problem is usually just breaking it into smaller parts and solving those one by one, then combining it together to get your final solution. So I like to read the question first before I even look at the data set, just so that once I start looking at the data set and trying to understand it, at least at the back of my mind, I have an idea of what is expected of me. So we've already read the question, so now we're going to try and see what this data set is about. So you're working for a company that sells motorcycle parts, and they've asked for some help in analyzing their sales data. They operate 3 warehouses in the area, selling both retail and wholesale. So up to this point, from our question before, we already know they're only interested in the wholesale part of the analysis. So they offer a variety of parts and accept credit cards, cash, and bank transfer as payment methods. However, each payment type incurs a different fee. The board of directors wants to gain a better understanding of wholesale revenue by product line and how this varies month to month and across warehouses. You have been tasked with calculating net revenue for each product line and grouping results by month and warehouse. The results should be filtered so that only wholesale orders are included. They have provided you with access to their databases, which contain the following table called sales. We have this table called sales. These are the columns, the data type, and the description of them. So we have the unique order number, the date of the order, the warehouse that the order was made from, the client type, whether it was retail or wholesale, the product order, the number of products, the unit price, the total price of the order in dollars, the payment, which is the payment method, then the payment fee, which is the percentage of total charged as a result of the payment method. Then it tells us that your query output should be presented in this format. So you should have the product line, the month, the warehouse, and the net revenue. So now that you've seen what the data set is about, you can go back to the question and begin figuring out how you're going to answer it. So the question says, find out how much wholesale net revenue each product line generated per month per warehouse in the data set. So when you come down here, you're actually going to display our data set so that you can get an overview of the data it contains. So in this cell provided by DataCamp, you're going to hover over the bottom, and then you'll have this plus sign appear. Just click on it, and then this menu will appear, and you'll click on SQL, since we'll be writing an SQL query. So this is where we are going to write a query that will allow us to see what the data set is about. So our table is called sales, so I'll just do select all from sales. Then to run it, you just click on this small like triangle, and it's going to run the query for you and display the results. Yeah, so it displays for you the first 10 rows. If you'd love to see more rows, just click on this drop down and you can select whether you want 25, 50, or 100. So this is a preview of our data set. We have the order number, the date, the warehouse, the client type, the product line, the quantity, unit price, total, payment, and payment fee. So you can just have a look at this, see what this data is about, what each column contains. And then once you've done that, we'll go back to our question and begin solving it step by step. So we need to find the wholesale net revenue each product line generated per month per warehouse in the data set. So I'll actually click inside that cell, and the first thing we know about this is that you're working with the sales table. So the first thing I'll do is just actually write from sales, because that's the table you're going to be querying. And then the next thing we know is that they're interested in the net revenue generated by products that were sold as wholesale. They're not interested in anything retail. So we're going to write a filter. We're going to sort of filter and specify that we are only interested in looking at wholesale products. So I'm going to write a condition. So where and the wholesale is under the client type column. So where client underscore type is equals to wholesale. Remember, when you're writing text, you have to put it inside single quotes. Yeah, so now we have our table, and we have filtered our data for it to show us only wholesale products. So once we've done that, we're supposed to calculate the net revenue each product line generated per month per warehouse in the data set. So the next instruction says the query should be saved as revenue by product line using the SQL cell provided and contain the following. It should contain the product line, and product line is actually a column within our table. So that's going to be the first column that we select. So you're going to do select product line. And then the next one is it should also contain the month, which is displayed as June, July, and August. So we come back to our data set and attempt to find the month column, but it's not there. However, we have the date column, and with the date column, you're able to extract the month from it. So that's what you're going to do next. You're going to extract the month number from the date column. So we're going to be using the extract function, and the syntax for it is quite easy. So you just write extract, do a bracket, then what you want to extract is the month. So I'll just do single quotes and type in month. You need to extract month from the column you're extracting it is the date column, and it's as simple as that. So just by writing that small function, we have extracted the month number. So just to confirm we're doing it right, we'll run this cell, click on this small triangle, and we have two columns. That's the product line that we selected first, and then this column called date part. Since we didn't give it an alias, SQL gave it its own alias, which is date part. But in this date part column, you can see it has numbers, which are the months that you have extracted from the date. So 6 is obviously June. Then if we look at more rows, let's do 50. We have 6, we have 7, and we have 8. So all the months that they want us to extract are there. So now that we've extracted them as month numbers, we now need to label them as June for 6, 7 for July, and 8 for August. So to do that, you're going to write a condition. And our condition is going to say if this month number is 6, you want it to be displayed as June. If it's 7, you want it to be displayed as July. And if it's 8, you want it to be displayed as August. So to write this condition, I'm going to be using the case when statement. So the syntax for this is going to be case when, and then when the number we have extracted is equal to 6, we want it to be given the label June, then June. So rather than repeating this again just to save time, we're going to copy and paste. So you copy from when all the way to June. So it will be so when the number is equal to 7, we want this to represent July. And then for August, we want it to represent the number 8. Yeah. So once we've written our condition, we're going to close it using the end statement and then give it the alias month. So once we run this, it should replace all the numbers with their respective names. So now we have product line and we have month. So there's June, I'm sure there's July and August somewhere. So once we've done that, the next thing you're supposed to select is the warehouse. So we'll just put a comma, type in warehouse. Then the next one will be the net revenue, which is the sum of total minus the sum of payment fee. So when you scroll down to our data set, we have total and we have payment fee. So you need to subtract those two. So we'll put another comma, then we're going to be using the sum function. It will be the sum of total minus the sum of the payment underscore fee. And this will be given the alias net underscore revenue. So that's it. So once we run this, we should be able to see all the columns. So you have an error, and the error is that the product line must appear in the group by clause will be used in an aggregate function. So what this means is, for these columns we've selected that we've not done any calculations on, we need to put them in the group by clause. So I'm going to type in group by. The first one is the product line. The second one is the month. Then the third one is the warehouse. So now when you run this, everything should be good. So it has displayed for us the product line, month, warehouse, and net revenue. So the next instruction is that the results should be sorted by product line and month, followed by net revenue in descending order. So sorting in Excel is usually done using the order by clause. So they want us to order by the product underscore line, by the month, and by the net revenue in descending order. So it will be net revenue, then the descending keyword, and you put your semicolon, and then you run this. So once we've run this, we have our products, our month, our warehouse, and our net revenue. So for the month, we have August appearing 3 times, July 3 times, then June 3 times for the same product, which is okay. This is what we're looking for. Then for the net revenue, it's specified that it should be arranged in descending order. That's from the highest to the lowest revenue. So for each product, for each month, the net revenue should be arranged from the highest to the lowest revenue per warehouse. So 3,000 is the highest, followed by 2,500, followed by 1,770. That's in August. Then in July it should be the same. Highest, second highest, third highest. So our query seems to be working okay. So when you scroll up here, we have this instruction that said your query output should be presented in the following format. So you need to have the product line, the month, warehouse, and the net revenue. Product line, month, warehouse, and net revenue. So our query seems okay. So once you're done with your query and you're confident in it, you can just click on submit project. And now DataCamp is checking to evaluate whether our solution is correct. So our solution is correct so far, and you've been given this 1,500 points. Congratulations, you completed the project, had the project to finish, and that's it. So if your project works, that's what you'll get. You'll get this correct solution. Nice one, the code is correct. So compared to the solution that DataCamp has, it means our solutions are similar. So if I just click on solution and click show solution, you can see whatever DataCamp wrote is actually, it's like exactly the same as what we did. So our solution is correct. But just in case you make a mistake and the solution is wrong, so maybe when you're grouping by, maybe instead of grouping by month, maybe you do group by date. So rather than using month, maybe we use the date column. So I'll just introduce that error right there and then run it. And then we're going to submit the project again, just so that we can see how DataCamp displays it once we have an error within our query. So I'll submit the project and wait for the feedback. So it tells us our solution doesn't look quite right. It expected 48 rows in our output, and it's asking us, you do correctly filter the client type column for only wholesale value. So it's sort of giving us a hint to where we could have possibly gone wrong. So from our results, we have 213 rows, and yet it was expecting 48 rows. So if maybe, for example, you're trying to figure out where did I go wrong and you can't be able to see where you went wrong, you can always go through the guide, see whether you did all the steps it has mentioned here. If you can confirm you've done all the steps it mentioned here, you can just go on and check the solution rather than try to waste time back and forth. Maybe you spend 30 minutes here trying to figure it out. You can just, since you've done most of the heavy lifting and it's just maybe like a small error that you can't seem to figure out, just click on the solution, look at what it is, and then you'll be able to figure it out. So maybe you'll probably realize you used date instead of month. So we'll just come back here and replace that. And then when you run your query, it should be okay once you submit it. So once you submit, it says my solution is correct. It gives me my points, and that's it. So I'll rate the project, give it a 5-star, then click on finish. And just like that, you've finished your project. So the thing I love about this projects on DataCamp is that they actually answer like real world questions. So by this I mean you could be at work, you're in the office, your manager comes up to you and asks you this very question. They tell you, I want to see a report where you analyze the wholesale orders that we had and calculate the net revenue that they brought in each warehouse that we have and all that. Like, that's actually like a real world scenario that you could encounter. So yeah, that's the thing I love about this project. So in your day, even if maybe you're busy, you didn't get a chance to go through a course, you can just come here and select one project and just attempt to do it. So most of these projects are usually just questions like that. You're just given a question and you're given the background of the data set and all, and you're told to write a query or write code depending on which tool or language you're using to solve that question. So yeah, that was the project I had for you guys today. Just click the link in the description to join my membership channel, as well as the affiliate link to create your DataCamp account and start working on these projects and even do some of the courses and the career tracks. Yeah, that is all I had for you guys today. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. You found like a platform you can use for practicing, for learning, and that can act as a guide for you to be able to continue improving on your learning journey to becoming a data professional.